All right, so we are out here following the first week of practice and media availability for Michigan State football. Obviously, summer is in session. The summer ball is in play for Michigan State, and we're here to talk about some of the takeaways we've had between the first two sessions for media availability. 3 practices in the book for Michigan State football. Media's had access to press or photo for 2. Matt, what did you take away?
I think one of my favorite takeaways was we had a conversation with Amari Kelly, transfer coming in from Middle Tennessee State. Really loved what he had to say, the energy he was bringing in. Loved the idea that he's going to be punt returning for the Spartans, so that'll be great.
Second team all conference last year for the Sun Belt. Yep.
And also, there's a lot of really interesting insights on himself, comparing himself to a lot of the other transfers coming in this year. He complimented himself, though a little sparingly, which I actually really appreciate that. But he was saying he has good hands, and he was talking about Krishan McCray's breakneck speed, and even comparing himself to the incoming freshman. Emmett was the one that went and asked him, like, so, I'll phrase it better than me.
So I asked him, what do you see a little bit of yourself in these players? What strengths do they bring?
Yeah, and his response was that he actually believed that all these freshmen are much farther ahead of him than he was when he was a freshman. So that was great to see.
Yeah, and Amari Kelly brought up, the punt returner competition is a little open. They don't have one set guy yet. He thinks he'll be the guy returning punts. Not surprising considering, his accolades that we've mentioned. But overall, Kelly was bringing up a lot of good names. Brian Lindgren today was available for interviews. He brought up that Charles Taplin in particular was a player that had stood out among the incoming freshmen, had made quite a few explosive plays. Taplin was also a guy mentioned along with Braylon Collier and Nick Marsh, surprisingly, along with McCray, as guys returning punts alongside Amari Kelly. So that's just something to note in that battle, or in case something happens. Knocking on wood, we got a tree right over here to knock on after this recording. Also, the offensive line, Luka Vinkic and Matt Golban were here today. Both of them were able to talk about how there's just a lot of unity in this group. And then the spiciest quote of the day goes to Vinkic, bringing up, hey, the reason I transferred was, one, I was hoping Michigan State would give me a ring because he wanted to, quote, be pushed, end quote, by Coach Michalczak. He did not think that Corvallis and Oregon State really, he said, no shot at this coaching staff, but I feel like I could be pushed more. And he thought that Coach Michalczak, having high expectations for the group every day, much like in 2023 when they were there. Damian Martinez was a all-conference rusher, proceeded to go and be a draft pick after playing one season for the Miami Hurricanes. He thought that energy was what he wanted. So he hit the portal, hoping Michigan State would give him a ring. They did, and now he's here. He mentioned primarily he's at that right guard slot right now. So that's just something to note for people who are filling in their depth charts at home. He said, I work a little bit of everywhere. That's to be expected under Coach Michalczak, but said that right guard was the spot he primarily gets right now. Just a little something to note for people at home who are like, okay, who's slotting in where? Matt Golban obviously mentioned, as we've all said since basically the day he committed, he is going to be playing the center position for the Spartans. Had a lot of good things to say about Rakeem Johnson, Chris Phillips, especially Chris Phillips' leadership, coming back from injury. And then both players themselves have mentioned stepping into that role of being a leader.
Yeah, and I wanted to go back on what you were saying with Luka when he was talking about transferring. One thing that stood out to me, he was just saying that while he appreciated everything at Oregon State, even giving it that one extra year just to see, hey, how is this new staff going to turn out? It ultimately didn't turn out how he wanted it to, but he was also talking about the excitement that he has for taking this journey and taking his last year and
2 years back.
Or last 2 years, my bad, and heading out east, away from family, giving himself this opportunity to just focus on football. And he also put out a lot saying that he really likes how this team is coming together, especially the offensive line, going out to eat with each other. I'm trying to remember. He specifically
trip to Holland,
trip
Michigan.
to Holland. He was excited about swimming in Lake Michigan.
Yeah, that was Goldman.
Oh, that was Goldman.
That was Goldman.
Right.
Yep.
And then just getting together. So you can really see that this line is really starting to gel. At least, they're getting to know each other really well, which is so important, especially after the difficulties that we had with the line last year.
Yeah, for sure. The unity of this team is something that really stood out to both Matt and I. Just every single time a player is talking about how much more unified they feel. On Tuesday's media session, Aiden Child said, "This is the most bonded team I've ever felt like I've been on." So obviously, this is a squad that, the power of friendship or whatever, it's not going to assuredly win you games.
Unless you're the Tigers.
True. The more united you are as a team, the better that you're going to be understanding each other, communicating, and that is something that really stands out when we're talking about this Michigan State football program. I know last year was mentioned that they felt like they're more unified. They've taken that next step this year. You have 70-plus returning players. Overall, it is just a thing that you need to see. You want to see that staff. You want to see that staff and those coaches, staff coaches, players, bonding year after year, and they have that. They're feeling like they're taking that next step, so that on Saturdays you are going to be surprised by how this team does.
Totally agree.
Yeah, and then obviously check back over the weekend. We'll have more for Spartan Shadows podcast. My apologies for not introducing first. This is Matt Eichstaedt. He is my brother-in-law as well as an additional reporter for Spartan Shadows. Primarily covers hockey. Occasionally he'll moonlight for football. He was able to come out here today to this practice facility and just be able to talk some ball with me. So thank you for him for coming out here, and thank you for watching. Anything you want to say, Matt?
Yeah, just happy to be here, and go green.
Go white.